All right. Hey, everybody. Good morning. I'm Uriah Kiser. I'm the publisher of Potomac Local News. This is Monday, June 2nd, 2025. I've got my Norm mug here, one of my favorite characters from Cheers. He passed away last month, and it was always funny. And it's funny, my wife got me this mug a few months ago. Maybe could have been a year ago. I'm not sure. It was one of the things she probably picked up at the Dollar Tree, but it's just totally random that I got the mug, found it, and because my wife knows I like Cheers. It's a funny show, and it. But anyway, George Wendt was his name. Cool guy, um, funny man. Good show. Good coffee this morning. Thanks for coming in. We're going to talk about what your local government is doing this week. I've got the agendas for the upcoming meetings pulled up for Prince William County and Stafford County. I'm talking about a few things coming up. The Board of County Supervisors in both jurisdictions meets tomorrow, June 3rd. And they've got a full agenda coming up. We'll be talking about that. Talk about our newsletter that we sent out this morning for Manassas. It's packed in full of Manassas information for Manassas and Manassas Park. So if you live in those areas and you don't get our email newsletter, you'll want to sign up. Go to PotomacLocalNews.com and click Get Email. And it's free. It's totally free. And it's my pleasure to collect the week's news and send it out to you, including all the events that are coming up and some fun things that we like to note out there in the community. So we'll get into that. And this past Friday, my family and I, we went to see a magic show in Stafford. It was a ton of fun. I want to pull up it was their summer bash, and Jonathan Austin was there, and he was really great. So we'll get into that and talk about that show and what we saw, and go from there. So, how was everyone's weekend? Hope you guys had a good one. I hope you got out there and did something fun. It was chilly this weekend. The days were nice and warm, but the nights it got cold and down into the 40s. Saturday. And I think last night as well, and I think we linked out to the National Weather Service, uh, their um, their forecast and how it got cold and what have you, during the weekends. So hopefully we'll get some warm up and we'll get out to the swimming pool here before long. So, all right, so let's get into it. Here's a look at what your local government is doing this week. I'm going to pull up, I've got the Manassas Park page pulled up, but I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the Prince William County agenda. They meet tomorrow at 2 p.m. in Woodbridge at the McCourt Government Center, One County Complex in Woodbridge. And they've got a packed agenda. There's a lot on. There's multiple items, but the big one that jumps out at me is not until 7 p.m. and that is this rezoning request, this land use case at Manassas Mall. And I've got the document. I think I have the document pulled up. Yeah. So it's right here. And essentially, those of you who know the Manassas Mall, it's at 8300 Sudley Road. Don't ask me why I remember that address. I've written it so many times since I was a reporter at the Potomac News and the Manassas Journal Messenger. It just kind of sticks with you. But at any rate, what they want to do here is, I'm going to scroll up here to the staff report, which is in the report here in the meeting agenda. Essentially, the number that jumps out at you is what they want to do is they want to rezone this area. So this is Sudley Road out here, and this is Ashton Avenue right in here. Hopefully the screen is keeping pace so you can see this. Hopefully it's keeping up. But at any rate, what they want to do is they want to rezone the area, the mall itself and the parking lot around the mall. And okay, maybe now you can see. Yeah, okay. Now I think you can see. Um, okay, so essentially what they want to do, here's the mall. Here's Sudley Road. Here's Ashton Avenue, which runs behind the mall. This area shaded here in yellow is the mall. And essentially what they want to do is they want to rezone this area shaded in yellow, and they want to make it a mixed use district that will allow, and here's the number, 1,041 multi-family residential units. And so I'm going to call those apartments because they don't really say whether they're apartments or condos. And that's bad on the county. They should use better language to identify what these things are. Multifamily residential units, that's government speak. For generally it means apartments, so we're going to go for apartments, and if I'm wrong, please someone from Prince William County shoot me a note and tell me I'm wrong. But essentially what they're doing here is that they're going to this is a request by the ownership of the mall to rezone over 60 acres to this mixed unit district to allow for these, more than 1,000 apartments and 47,000 square feet of commercial buildings, along with waivers and modifications. It's 4 parcels of land that have been cobbled together for this rezoning. And overall, the county development staff, they say, yes, you should rezone this. And I'm going to get down to that part down here as to where that recommendation is in the staff report. So, this is, you're going over this document with you in real time. So this is by no means prepared live, polished television. You're actually reading the document right along with me. It gives us some great history of the mall. The mall looks like it was constructed in 1972. And those of you who remember that, if you grew up in Woodbridge, you knew that if you wanted to go to Sears, you had to go to Manassas Mall, right? That was the place the only place in the area that had a Sears if you grew up in the Prince William County. And then obviously if you were in Manassas and you wanted a lot of the stores that, that the Potomac Mills Mall had, then obviously you had to go to Woodbridge. So the two malls, when the county was obviously smaller, played a very large role in the retail landscape in the county. What we have there now is, we still have, I believe there's still a Hex store there. There had been a Target store there. It closed, and it is now the Uptown Alley Fun. There's also a pickleball place inside of where the Target used to be. And in 2010, after the Target moved out, or maybe thereabouts, maybe they were there. Yeah, okay, it looks like they overlap. Walmart built a super center at the mall in 2010, and Target closed 3 years later in 2013. And now, Autobahn, Uptown Alley now are in that space, as well as the pickleball court that's Dill Dinker's pickleball that are in the old Target space. So just, brief history there of the mall. And here we go. There's staff recommendation. It just says approval. They recommend approval. The property is designated as mixed use. The proposed use is consistent with the mixed use characteristics that are associated with the long range plan. The property is located within the Sudley Road redevelopment corridor, special planning area. Essentially, it's consistent with what officials want for this area. It says that it will deliver a true mixed use community with, basically homes and retail. They call it a cohesive approach that will enhance the existing mall. And of course, they were all excited about the integration of residential and commercial. And this is their word, supports the creation of a vibrant, walkable community that appeared by targeted industries by enhancing environment and improving the quality of life, right? So there you have it. It looks like The county is on board with this plan to add over 1,000 apartments at Manassas Mall. So that's the big one coming up on June 3rd. That is tomorrow. So we'll be watching that meeting. Going back here to the agenda here. Let's see. I don't see. I mean, that is the biggest thing that jumps out at me in terms of what's going on with the agenda. There are multiple public hearings. Looks like there's a traffic safety plan tomorrow. Uh, let's see. School crossing zones. Oh, this is interesting. Extension of our ordinance that use photo monitoring systems to enforce traffic light cameras. I believe our Caitlin Meisner had a story about this last week on PotomacLocalNews.com. And so we'll be watching for the result of this public hearing tomorrow. Essentially, these photo monitoring cameras have been put up in school zones in Prince William County, and they're issuing fines if you speed through school zones. You'll get a nice ticket mailed to you if they take a photo of you speeding, and they get your license plate. All right, what else? I mean, there are a ton of public hearings. Okay, there's Chick-fil-A at Souder Village. Mr. Mike used to own that Chick-fil-A. He is I've not met the new owner. Mr. Mike was a good friend. Those of you who've been out to Chick-fil-A at the Target just outside Manassas, Mr. Mike was a great guy. He owned that Chick-fil-A for years. I believe he was the original owner, and I think probably this time last year, I think he retired, got out of the business, moved on, did something else. So hope he's doing well. Let's see. And I'd love to meet the new owners of the Chick-fil-A too, because we love Chick-fil-A, and we always appreciate the good work they do in the community. It looks like we've got a bunch of Chick-fil-A's. This is interesting. Okay, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A. What's going on with Chick-fil-A? Let me see. What's happening with Chick-fil-A? All right, special use permit to amend the conditions associated, increase the number of drive-thru. Oh, they're getting bigger drive-thrus. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so a lot of people like Chick-fil-A, and now they're wanting to get bigger drive-thrus in these Chick-fil-A's. So looks like the one in Lake Ridge, Old Bridge Road, and Prince William Parkway. And it looks like the one in Souder Village, that's Mr. Mike's old Chick-fil-A. Yeah, and then we've got two in Lake Ridge. Where's the... So at any rate, we've got these. That's neat. Good for them. They're selling a lot of chicken over at Chick-fil-A. Okay. Manassas Business Park. What is this? Let's see. All right. Directive. Where's the staff report? I like the resolutions, but the staff report, if there is one, always lays it out quickly for me, but I don't see one. So we're just gonna read the resolution. All right. Prince William County Supervisors amendment, include classified parcels at the business park. Okay. I don't really think that's too exciting. So we'll get out of it back into the menu. I should say the agenda. Okay. All right. So, like I said, big thing, 7 p.m. tomorrow, June 3rd, Prince William Board of County Supervisors, and that 1,041 apartments at the Manassas Mall. That's when we're going to be watching tomorrow on the Prince William Board of County Supervisors. All right. Now, let's go over to Stafford County, just south of Prince William County. And we've got some proclamations on the board tomorrow, one for Juneteenth, which is this month. The other is the Juneteenth proclamation. It's interesting when you read the agenda. The Juneteenth proclamation is kind of at the beginning of the meeting, where most proclamations kind of take place. A proclamation is simply when a supervisor stands up and says, hey, I really think that we should recognize this person, place, or thing. and because we think they're doing good work in the community, or it's important that the community is aware of this person, place, or thing. And they normally do this at the beginning of the meeting. So we have that Juneteenth. They're going to be recognizing the holiday of Juneteenth, which is a federal holiday, and we all get off for that. Well, at least all of us, me not included, but those who have federal jobs get off. I obviously don't have a federal job. I'm an independent journalist. Don't work for the federal government. I want to make that clear. All right, and then we get down into the consent agenda is packed full of stuff. But then after the consent agenda, we get into this action item, and this is to it's a proclamation in the action item, which is weird. We rarely see that these proclamations happen so late in the meeting. But recognize June as a month of recognition and support for individuals of diverse sexual orientations and gender identities in Stafford County. And so they go into the background report, and we see what we have here. And it basically says Stafford County is a friendly community that is welcoming and inclusive to all people. Stafford County recognizes the importance of equality and freedom for all residents, and the progress we have made as a nation in the fight for justice, equality for all citizens. So Stafford is dedicated to fostering acceptance for all residents, preventing discrimination and mistreatment based on sexual orientation. So board will be talking about that tomorrow. That is a action item, and it's not a simple proclamation at the beginning. They put that down there as action. So I look for some discussion about that because, like I said, these things normally get put at the top of the meeting, and this one is down where they get into the business and the meat and potatoes of the meeting. Going back up here to the consent agenda, let me see here. There's a lot on here. So there's some road projects, and those. Well, if you're asking, like, what is a consent agenda? Essentially, that's where items go where the board either feels that they have enough support to be approved, or whether they've been working on from something for a long time and when it's an expedited agenda, or it's where things go when the board really doesn't want to talk about something. They just kind of put it on the consent agenda and they pass, unless a board member pulls it off for discussion and says, wait, I want to discuss item number, for instance, item number 6 on the consent agenda, then it just kind of all gets passed. And so it's kind of where things go to get approved expeditiously, right there in the consent agenda. So there are some things there, but again, I don't see much more in the meat and potatoes section other than that resolution. Sorry for the continual scrolling, but I did tell you you're kind of watching this with me as I go through here and see what's news this week. There's a lot of road stuff in here, a lot of street stuff. And we'll be covering some of those. I think one of those, speaking of street stuff, let me look that up. Let me see here, because I know they have an upcoming project that they want to talk about. Let me see if I can find it on their Facebook page. Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is June 26th, Brook Road Improvement Project. So this is a design hearing for the Brook Road Improvement Project that will take place on Thursday, June 26, 2025, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Stafford Middle School, 101 Spartan Drive in Stafford. Citizens are invited to see proposed project plans to reduce roadway closures on Brook Road caused by flooding. So if you've been out this way, you know that when it rains, I don't want to say that. Okay, I'm going to say it. When it rains, it pours on Brook Road, and sometimes it gets flooded. And so what they're trying to do here is trying to just stop that from happening. And so we've been covering this story for years in terms of, what happens out there where it floods, and then the discussion back and forth between multiple supervisors. Now, Supervisor Cindy Shelton really brought this to the forefront back when she was on the board, and now Monica Gary, who is the Aquia District Supervisor, is still continuing those conversations about this project. And we've been talking to VDOT for years about how they're going to fix this. So that meeting is coming up, and so this is on the county's Facebook. We'll share this out on our platform, PotomacLocalNews.com. We'll probably put it on our email newsletter as well, so you can keep up with this project, all the fun stuff going on there. I'm going to switch gears now, and we're done talking about the counties. I do want to talk about Manassas Park and Manassas. They've got meetings coming up. Let's see. All right. So we are in, let me see here. Where's my Manassas Park agenda? I'm going to close all my Prince William stuff out real quick because we're done with Prince William and Stafford. Let me get to meeting agendas. Let me go back into open up Manassas Park, because tonight in Manassas, they've got their budget. They've got a public hearing on their budget, and they've got stuff coming up there in terms of utility rates increases. What I did for you over the weekend is I kind of put all those together and gave you a simple. I'm going to go to our website now, show you where are we. Okay. That's the one for Manassas Park. All right. So yeah, over the weekend, we'll start at Manassas with heads up, Manassas, your water, power, and EMS bills are about to get a bit pricier. So we've got this story here, and it basically breaks everything down. The good news for the good news for Manassas is your property taxes on your house, on your home, they're not going up. So the rate's flat. You probably will be paying more because your property assessment went up, just like it does everywhere else in this region. It's a continual thing. So you'll probably pay more, and the city is expecting to collect more from you, $6.6 million more from you. But your tax rate is flat. It's not going up. However, that being said, if you are calling an ambulance, you're going to pay more. You're going to pay, about $300 more in terms of ambulance fees, from $500 to $800. And if you are seriously in trouble, that fee is going to go from $800 to $1,200. That's your advanced life support level 2. Is what the city calls that. And if you are, like I said, if you're really sick, if you're really injured, you really need help, that cost is going to go up. And then, of course, in addition to just picking you up and paying the base rate, like a taxi cab, they also charge per mile, and that's going to go. It looks like $13 to $15 per mile is what we have there from the city. Sewer rates are going up. Let's see, water bills are going up. Electric bills are going up. So we're seeing this, especially where data centers are coming in, and that is all of Virginia. Data centers, with the proliferation of data centers, electrical bills continue to go up, and because the power company Dominion, or the subsidies, the other power companies, they're building all this new infrastructure to accommodate these data centers, and those costs get passed on to us. They call us the ratepayers, is what they call us. And so we pay those costs for getting those new power lines, substations installed and up and working. And that results in higher costs for all of us on the back end. Now over to Manassas Park. They're going to have their before I jump to Manassas Park, if you want to go weigh in, the public hearing is tonight, 5:30 at City Hall. That's Monday, June 2nd, 5:30 at City Hall. You can go down there and tell them what's on your mind. They're having a public hearing on these increases you can go down there. Now, in Manassas Park, in neighboring Manassas Park City, Tuesday is their hearing, and this is going to be on their budget. And so I did one of these friendly breakdowns for you in plain language. So the real estate tax rate, which in Manassas Park is traditionally has been the highest in Virginia, is going down slightly. So that's good news for ratepayers. Ratepayers. There I go again, using that terminology, ratepayers. But so yeah, that's going down for homeowners, property owners, and but it's like $10, right? It's not much, but hey, you can take that money and invest it in your child's college fund or go out and buy a hamburger. Either one. It's your money. You do what you want with it. But hey, as I noted in the story here, we'll take it. Any relief is good relief in my book. No change in the personal property taxes. Water rates, they're going up. Sewer rates are going up 15%. It looks like let's see, stormwater fees, they're going up. Trash and recycling going up. Dumpster services going up. Roughly about $2 a month on residents there. If you're a senior citizen, you get a little bit of relief. You get a more discount on some taxes. So that's good. And city budget's getting smaller. It's going from 142 million to 97.5 million. It's been down just over 30% in the budget for Manassas Park this year. And as you might remember, I'm going to try to look up that story that we posted a while back. Manassas Park has a new city manager, and I have exchanged emails with him. He is a friendly enough guy on email, and I hope to have a real conversation with him soon. After the budget season's over. This is kind of the end. Carl Cole. I'll share his picture here if I have it. I don't know if I have it, but I guess last year we reported that he was going to come in and be the new Manassas Park city manager. He came from out west. I believe he comes from the Costco country out there in the Washington and Seattle, Washington area. I believe he came from where Seattle area. I forget what town. But he came from the Seattle area. Could have been Kirkland. That's where I play. If I remember correctly, it could be Kirkland, Washington. And so that may be why I put the Costco reference in there. But at any rate, he comes from, SeaTac, Washington. There it is. SeaTac, Washington is where he's from. And he's come out here and looks like he's cut the budget in Manassas Park. So, interesting. Good for Mr. Cole, and maybe he'll come on and talk to us about how he did that and what else he's got going on. We're always happy to talk with local decision makers who are doing good things in the community and making our lives better by doing their job. All right. Okay. So that's what's going on in let me just double check 1 second here if there's anything else in the Manassas Park agenda. There is this one thing, the 50th anniversary update. So we broke this story. If you remember, Manassas Park is now 50 years old this year. And they've kind of had some starts and stops with their 50th anniversary campaign. And so we started talking about this about a year ago, that they were getting ready for, this launch and, these big celebrations. So it looks like they're going to have an anniversary flag raising ceremony and reception on Tuesday, July 1st at 6 p.m. in Costello Park. This is the one that's just outside the Manassas Park Community Center. There is a 50th anniversary parade on Saturday, July 5th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that's going to looks like that's going to go down Manassas Drive east to Carondelet to City Hall. And the Manassas Park Fire and Fiddle Fest, Saturday, October 4th from 2025 from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Costello Park. So these events are coming up. The kickoff event was held earlier this year, and we reported on that on the 16th of February. And then shortly thereafter that, they kind of did something weird happened. They disbanded their 50th anniversary committee, and I think the city council kind of took it over, and governing body is what they call them in Manassas Park, the governing body. So the governing body stepped in, took it over. Don't really know why. It was kind of weird. If anybody has any information on that, if anybody wants to talk about that, why that happened, I'm always all ears. Please give me a buzz, shoot me an email. And so we'll be watching those things tomorrow night at Manassas Park. And of course, we'll be watching the Manassas City Council meeting tonight at 5:30. So we got meetings in Manassas and Manassas Park next 2 days. All right. Finally. I think I closed it out here. So let me pull it back up. So you'll remember Friday night, they were calling for all this bad weather, and we were putting out information that the schools are going to be closed. The graduations. By the way, congratulations to all the graduates. Congratulations to all the graduates. I have seen so many wonderful photos, so many wonderful hugs and smiles. Parents just elated. Congratulations to everyone who graduated this year from all the respective schools in our area. I've seen so many great pictures from this past weekend from Prince William County and Stafford County. It's awesome to see that. And so at any rate, so Friday, you remember we were putting out these messages that, these graduations, they were supposed to be outside Friday night and they're going to be moved indoors and blah, blah, blah. And so we were getting some word, some bad weather. Well, I think it rained for 10 minutes on Friday. And so one of the events that was scheduled to be outside at Pratt Park in Stafford County was this summer bash with Jonathan Austin. And so they moved it indoors into the community center, the courthouse community center there in Stafford, near at the county public schools complex. This guy was awesome. Jonathan Austin, I've never seen this guy before. I didn't know what to expect. I just kind of saw like a magician and family fun. And I'm like, hey, talk to my wife. And it's like, let's take the kids. It'd be fun to go see that. And it was awesome. This guy, he's funny. He's got some pretty wow magic tricks. He rode a unicycle. He used two big burly men that he pulled from the audience to get him on the unicycle and made it a hilarious bit. He pulls a lot of the people right from the audience. A lot of kids got up and did magic with him. And we're talking about some very, very cool stuff. The guy, he's a true magician. When you can light something on fire, light a dish on fire, and then have a bunny rabbit appear from it, that's how you know you went to magician school, right? You got it. And so that's this guy. He was great. The audience really loved him. The kids, just nothing but smiles. I'm going to call Stafford County and see if they've got some photos of this. I was not covering this. I was out there with my family. I was not up and about taking pictures as a journalist for this thing, because I was actually enjoying the show with my kids and my wife. And the other thing is after his set, he brought his rabbit out into the lobby of the community center as we were all exiting, and he invited us to pet his rabbit. And he personally asked for your name. What's your name? What's your name? And so the whole time, he's very personable. And during his show, he was, he did the same thing. Hey, what's your name? He remembers your name. And so his card, he gave us his business card. He's been doing this since 1990, and he's entertained for the president. He's been on the Today Show. And so this guy who juggles and does magic tricks, card tricks, jumps off and up a unicycle, It's what he did was awesome, and hats off to the Stafford County Parks and Rec for bringing this show in. This is just, and it was free. It was absolutely free to go and see this performer, and then spend some quality time with your family and friends. Doesn't cost a dime, and they made the show happen. They pulled it off. It was great. And so, yeah, so thank you, Stafford County Parks and Rec, for bringing this to the community, and letting people come and experience this. And I'll say the same thing I said to Jonathan Austin when I left. Thank you for coming to our area. We really appreciate you. I think he drove up from Richmond. He said he was from Richmond a couple times, so he was in that area. So I hope everybody had a fun weekend. And if you did, please drop it in the comments. Let me know what you got into. Let me know what you're getting into this week. If you have a story, please also let me know. You can email me at news@potomaclocal.com, news@potomaclocal.com. And you get our free email newsletters. Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about our email newsletter real quick that went out today for Manassas. And we've been, let me see if I can pull this up here. Still see Jonathan Austin's face there. Where's the 7 a.m. email? There we go. Okay, so here's our email newsletter from Manassas that went out. And so I am trying to figure out how to make the text larger, especially on cell phones. I'm kind of, I'm no spring chicken, so I'm kind of squinting as I'm reading, on my cell phone. But here on the computer, as I'm showing it to you here, it's kind of cool. But anyway, it is a breakdown of everything that is happening in town. And so if you like that and you see that, you want me to add stuff to it, please let me know. We're trying to do this once a week for the areas that we serve, being Woodbridge, Manassas, and Fredericksburg. So there's our graduates right there from Manassas. Congratulations, guys. Osborne High School. And I like to include funny memes in here too. This one's about this meme is about it accompanies a story about expansion at Manassas Airport. So at any rate, that's our newsletter. So if you have something, again, news@potomaclocal.com, news@potomaclocal.com, and that will get what you need or what you want, or get your message out to us. Finally, want to thank our sponsors of the newsletter: Manassas Park Community Center, Freedom Property Management, and Peden Accounting Services, are sponsors of our Manassas local newsletter. Manassas Potomac Local News Manassas is what we call that thing. All right. Well, that's it for me, guys. Thank you on this Monday. Have a great week, and we always love hearing from you. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Give us a shout out. We'll talk to you later.